I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal
Remember this?
of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
Eagle is at tranquility, over.
It was a time when dreams about spaceflight came true.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
And it was a giant leap for mankind. But since then, it seems like we've taken a step back.
The space shuttle spreads its wings one final time.
And in 2011, when the space shuttle stopped flying,
Atlantis glided into history today.
a lot of people kind of forgot about NASA.
This is Mission Control Houston, 1 hour, 5 minutes into today's spacewalk.
But NASA's still here. And 5 days from now, it will launch one of its most ambitious missions yet, sending 51-year-old astronaut Scott Kelly to the International Space Station for 12 months. That's twice as long as his last trip to space in 2010.
Hi, my name is Scott Kelly, and I'm an astronaut.
And a new record for an American astronaut.
Last time I felt like I was kind of taking a long business trip. This time it's more like I feel like I'm just moving and I'm not coming back.
Without the space shuttle, Kelly has only one way to get into space, aboard this Russian spacecraft called the Soyuz. He'll take off from the world's oldest space launch facility, the Baikonur Cosmodrome in southern Kazakhstan.
I'll be in here with 2 cosmonauts.
He'll be traveling with Russians Mikhail Kornienko and Gennady Padalka. And in case you're wondering, Kelly says political tensions between the countries are left on Earth, as the men embark on a cramped 6-hour journey to the space station.
It's no minivan in there, I'll tell you that.
It's not very big.
Kelly showed us a replica of the spacecraft at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston.
I'll be playing the role of commander at this
Yeah,
performance.
you are the Soyuz commander.
I gotta ask you, it doesn't look like cutting edge technology. It looks like 60s technology.
Some of it is. The good news is it works, most of the time. They've had a couple accidents, but, so did we on the space shuttle. Risky, but, flying in space is risky.
If Scott Kelly looks familiar, well, it might be because he has a famous twin brother, Mark Kelly. Mark is a retired astronaut himself and husband of former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords.
I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that I wish I was blasted off in a rocket in a couple months.
He won't be on the space station, but Mark is part of the mission as an identical control subject on the ground. By comparing the twins' biology over the year, scientists hope to learn more about what happens to you after a long time in space, like bone loss and muscle loss, important groundwork for an eventual mission to Mars. But physical changes are only part of the story. There's also the mental challenge of living in a 6-room box in space for a year. What would happen if you started getting signs that he's starting to crack?
Well, we don't expect to see signs that he's starting to crack. First of all, we've done a selection due diligence.
Al Holland is a NASA psychologist. His team will be in constant contact with Kelly.
So people that are coming in, we already have a certain amount of confidence that in a prior life they have done things that are stressful. They've endured deployments or they've endured other long separations effectively.
Scott Kelly certainly has endured stress in space before. For example, during his 6-month stay on the space station.
It was a Saturday, January 8th, 2011. We got a call, for me, the chief of the astronaut office wants to talk to you on a private space-to-ground channel in 5 minutes. And she said, I don't know how to tell you this, so I'm just going to tell you your sister-in-law was shot in the head at a public event in Tucson, Arizona, and we don't have much other information.
Eventually, Gabby recovered, and Scott got to see her 2 months later at home. But very soon, home will once again be the space station.
Sleeping is done on the wall here in a sleeping bag.
That's your bedroom right there.
That's the bedroom.
Lavish.
Yeah. You'll have a couple computers in there, some personal items. Actually, in space, it's quite comfortable.
At the Johnson Space Center, NASA has also built a mock-up of the space station, which they use for training.
On behalf of science classes all over America, I have to ask you about going to the bathroom. How do you go to the bathroom?
Very carefully.
He'll be here till Thursday, folks. Oh, there she is.
That's it. That's what everyone always wants to see.
Our tax dollars at work.
You know, it uses air suction. It's got this, you know, this funnel, and you turn it on, and it vacuum comes up, and you do your thing.
And talk about advanced technology. When you're finished, a special distiller recycles your urine back into drinking water.
You know, for the other thing.
I haven't seen any laundry facilities.
We don't have any, nor do we have a shower, so we throw away the clothes and we take a little sponge bath.
You throw away the clothes?
Here's the kind of space clothing he won't be throwing away. Spacesuits for spacewalks.
My safety tether config is good.
We have a long safety tether that is always connected.
Enjoy your last walk.
So you don't jet around like George Clooney.
Referring to George Clooney and Gravity, I don't think we do anything like George Clooney did.
Mind if I join the fun?
Including the sense of humor. You've fallen off the space station, that's a bad day.
On a good day in space, you follow a routine. You work out, and you eat.
So cubes and tubes. This is the original space food, Mercury and Gemini. So basically what they had was baby food in a tube that they squeezed in their mouth.
Oh, man.
And then they had a lot of different varieties of dried cubes.
Space station cuisine today looks more like a TV dinner.
One of our most popular items has been our shrimp cocktail.
According to food manager Vicki Claris, the astronauts eat entrees like spaghetti and meat sauce,
Like Mom used to make.
Yeah.
sweet and sour chicken,
Right, the flavor is there. It's just the texture is a little off.
This is crawfish etouffee.
Cool.
and even the occasional Cajun specialty.
It's not gourmet, but considering everything, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
This is beef tips with mushroom.
Claris's team has developed a menu of 200 space foods. Before each launch, the astronauts get to choose their favorites. From his food, to his fitness, to his health, every detail of Kelly's life in space is managed by his team on Earth. But the most important person on the ground might be his longtime girlfriend, Amiko Cowderer.
He calls me a slow cooker.
Well, he's used to opening a pouch.
Who works in NASA's Public Affairs Office. These two are about to give new meaning to the term long-distance relationship.
Most of my concerns with this flight and being gone for a year is the stuff that can happen to people on Earth while I'm gone.
Kelly, who has 2 daughters from a previous marriage, will be able to call his family by phone whenever he wants. They can have video chats with him once a week.
I can't imagine that it would be easy for any woman.
It's not easy at all. But I think we're both of the mindset of we kind of really appreciate challenge and things that are hard because we also know at the end of it that you can kind of go, yeah, we did that.
And the homecoming's really good after a year.
A year in space to prepare for a mission to Mars. For NASA, those are giant leaps indeed.